Happy Sunday afternoon, and now we're going to talk about my weekly wrap up from last week. So let's kick it off and talk about books. So, what did I read last week? So, I read two books last week. Those are Lee Child and Andrew Child, Better Off Dead, number 26 in the Jack Reacher series. I gave this a 3.9 out of 5. I finished Robert Krass, The 2-Minute Rule. I gave this a 4.1. This is my second Krass novel, another standalone novel. I enjoyed it a lot. I also made some headway into The Wall of Storms, book number 2 in the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. As you can see, I finally made it halfway in this big book, but I also had a great meeting. I met the author, got a signed book. We'll get into that in a minute. And so I also read 2 short story books. I read 9 stories by J.D. Salinger. I read A Perfect Day for Banana Fish. I gave this a 4.6 out of 5. And I also read my first Louis L'Amour short story in volume 1 of his short story and frontier story collection. I read That Man from the Bitter Sands. I gave it a 4.4 out of 5. Really good reading week for my Saturday short story series. And so my average rating was a 4.3. It was a great reading week. So let's talk videos. In terms of videos this past week, I did 13 videos. It may be 14. I may have miscounted, but let's run through them. I did 2 book reviews. I did another short review of Conan from my Conan series, The God in the Bowl. I did a book haul number 26. I did a From the Shelves number 2, and I also did a From the Shelves number 3, From the Trails. And if you haven't checked that out, I just posted that video a few hours ago. You might want to check it out. There's a great blooper at the very beginning of that. I did a tagged video, the book Murderer Tag. I did another video in the Let Me Know series, Let Me Know number 8. And I also did another Let Me Know video. I did Let Me Know number 7. I also did my Saturday shorts. I did What Are You Reading Wednesday short. I also did a TBR reshuffle number 8. I did a top 5 video, which was my top 5 pray books, and I did a video recap of my evening with Ken Liu. And so my mom and I met Ken Liu at the Champaign Public Library this past Thursday. He was there doing a book talk and a signing. It was all free. It was a great evening. We got to hear him talk about artificial intelligence and where its place is in humanity and what it means and what it could mean in the future, and his thoughts and perspectives about it. It was fascinating. He just spoke for about an hour, took a few questions, then did a book signing. It was great. I got a couple pictures, and if you haven't seen the video, you should. I really enjoyed getting one of my short story collections by him signed from him, so that was great. And so let's talk new subscribers, comments, engagement in the BookTube community. There's been a lot. Like always, I always say this, but it has been crazy. So here is some of the new subscribers, regular subscribers, some OGs, and some people that have been making comments and commenting on the channel. Great criticism, great feedback. Cody Wynn, Harvey R., Random Reading Pathways, Levi, Bing Lamb, Little Big Library, Faceless, Bob Can Read, Caleb Welch, 6393, Jim Books, Reading and Stuff, Cobalt Dragon, Craig Piper, Abel CG 2481, John Meehan, Fainer 27, Lens 12, Cheney, Type O, Patty Page, Xanadu Castle, Rob Ritz 1, Book Chat with Pat, James Biddle 9789, Phil Ologus 6577, Faye Brown W9B, Mandy Walden, Lance Young, Dexter Strong 3230, Professor X, Already Overbooked, Lens 23, Jess Book Girl TV, Logan at Novel Insights, Trav at Trav's Bookshelf, Hyde Reed, Book Buds, Ingrid Fitz 5677, Bun E2H, Frederick Michad, Bradley Taylor, Neil B612, Zest Pete 4614, The Mountain Dew Guy 4350, Kevin Judge 8406, King Excellent, Reading Ideas, my mom, Astrid Kai, Odd Audie Online, Miss Ladybug 1974, Professor Nicholas Gaines, who is actually one of my daughter Carly's professor at EIU. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. That's great. I hope you enjoy. James, oh, and I'm sorry, by the way, too. James Biddle 9789, Mark Knowlton, Zebra Head 89, Robert Lynn, and Dustin Neely. Go give Dustin some love. He's really been down in the dumps lately. That's what happens. You don't like Stephen King, and the next thing you know, you get down in the dumps. So go give Dustin some love. In terms of kind of milestones, I eclipsed my 300 video. As you know, I started YouTube kind of in March, and I've already eclipsed 300 videos. It's been a lot lately. I've been enjoying it, and so I've also added some editing as of late. Logan at Novel Insights, we've been working on this collab video that we just can't get for whatever, it's all on my fault, but can't get the technical pieces lined out to where I can post it. But we did a great video talking about the Guardians from John Grisham, and we haven't been able to post it yet. But he was like, hey, I do some editing through my phone on an app, and he shared it with me. And as you can probably tell, I've been doing some editing. Odd Online asked me, he was like, hey, I really enjoy it. Much longer does that take you, based on your normal process? And most of the time, everything I do is through my phone. And he asked me, he's like, hey, how much time would you estimate that it takes longer? And it does take longer to edit. When you're adding text, or you're adding GIFs, or adding things, and you're adding effects and everything else, and you're working on, beautifying your thumbnails a little bit, which you can also do on the app, it does take longer. I've noticed it's probably 30 to 45 minutes of video longer than normal. I'm obviously inexperienced, so the efficiency is way down. So as I get familiar, I will probably get quicker. But at the same time, I'm not going to go overboard with it. I did notice that it can be very easy, as I make fun of myself in most of the videos or try to be humorous, you can really just make the videos to where it's nothing but pop-ups in here and there, and that may be a little bit much for people. So it's moderation, knowing your return on investment, knowing when you get to that thin line, especially with time too. I mean, the more time I spend doing that, making them better and more polished, the less time I have doing other content or reading and everything else. So you gotta balance it all. But I do like it. It definitely, especially the intro and outros and some of the pictures in the video, it does polish the video a little more. So I do like that. So that's my take. I hope that answers your question, Adi. So what am I reading this week? So this week I'm going to be reading book number 4 in the Louis L'Amour Sackett series, Jubal Sackett. If you probably don't know, I'm doing a read along with a bunch of other folks, the Wagon Train, and we're reading 2 books a month in the Sackett series. This is my second book of the month, so I'm going to knock this out this week. I'm also going to knock out book number 2 in the Dandelion Dynasty, The Wall of Storms by Ken Liu. Again, I had a great time Thursday at the Champaign Library with my mom going, if you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. But I'm going to knock this out. I'm reading 1 book in the Dandelion Dynasty series a month so I can finish it by year end. So this is book 2. I'm going to knock that out. And then I'm going to start ripping through some of the rest of my TBR. I'm going to start with Run by Blake Crouch. This is a reread for me. About a 250-page thriller, and it's a quick read. I definitely remember some bits and pieces, but I don't remember the whole story. So I will be reading and reviewing these on the channel this coming week. So speaking of TBR, let's go into that. And that will leave these 5 left in my current TBR pile. I have book number 3 in the Evan Tanner series by Lawrence Block, and that is Tanner's 12 Swingers. I'm going to do a reread of The 620 Man. The 620 Man is a series by David Baldacci. It's actually the Travis Devine series. The book 3 is coming out. I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to be reading Corey's Cut by Max Allan Collins, and that is book number 4 in the Corey series. I'm going to read Joe Nesbo Headhunters. I want to get back to some Joe Nesbo on the channel, and Headhunters is a standalone novel, and it seems to should be a quick one, 250 pages. And so that's on the list. And then I wanted to read this because of Trav at Trav's Bookshelf. He did a recent kind of review about thrillers, horror type stories, fun reads, and The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay is on my list. It's been on my shelf for quite some time. So that's my TBR. Once I get Jabal Sackett and Wall of Storms done, I should start ripping through some of these thrillers and quick reads pretty fast. So be on the lookout for those. So news. Let's talk about book news. Some recent things. As you may or may not know, specifically talking about YouTube, they increased the short video time. It used to be anything under a minute or under would be a short, and now it's up to 3 minutes for shorts. So that was something new. There's a new Bosch Ballard novel coming out November 5th. And I know a lot of you were like, hey, you need to get to Bosch. You would like it based on me reading lots of series and other things. And so I'm going to be getting to it, I promise. I'll get into The Black Echo very, very soon. All my Bosch novels are up here on my shelf above me. But I wanted to give you kind of an insight. I know a lot of you have also said, when are you going to get Mom on the channel? And so when I was talking to Mom on the way to Champaign to go see Ken Liu, we talked a little bit. She had finished the Bosch novel, The Black Echo, and I wanted to kind of ask her thoughts, trying to twist her arm to get her on the channel. But I asked her what she thought about the book, and she's also seen the adaptation, and she watched that before she read book one, and she said book one was just okay. And so I think she wished she would have read the book first and then watched the adaptation later, but I'm still going to get to Bosch. It's coming. Be patient. In terms of some other news, Prime Video announced that they have funding for season 4 of Reacher. That is fantastic. As you know, I'm a huge fan of Prime's adaptation of the first 2 seasons, which are based on 2 Reacher books. I think they do a fantastic job doing 8 or 9 episodes to do one book. It really lets them stick to the content. Plus, Alan Ritchson is a fantastic Reacher character. I think he does a great job. And I like Negley and some of the other characters. I think they do a really good job with the characters. Some other news that I've also mentioned in the past weeks that are also coming out in case you missed it. Susanna Clark is releasing a Christmas fantasy kind of tale on October 22nd. It is called The Wood at Midwinter. Haruki Murakami has a new novel coming out, The City and Its Uncertain Walls. That is coming out November 19th. To Die For, it's another Travis Devine novel. It's book number 3 in that series. Comes out in the middle of November. Another reason for me to get to the 620 Man. And then that's the updates for news. So let's jump into upcoming videos. Wow, there's a lot. Obviously, I'm going to be doing some book reviews on the aforementioned books. I'm also going to be doing my Saturday shorts. I'm going to be doing another Let Me Know video. I'm going to be reading another Conan entry and giving you a review on that, as well as I have another book haul, pretty big one. And so that's going to be coming. I'm also got all my notes and research lined out. I'm ready to go with another video getting back to my deep dive character study. And that character is going to be Kid from the John Sanford Kid Llewellyn series. So we're going to get to that as well. And then I'm going to give you another top video. I want to talk about some top thrillers. And so that's going to be forthcoming later this week. And then book tags. Wow. I have 5 on my list right now that I believe is my most updated and what I have been tagged in. I know you're not obligated to do videos if you're tagged in them, but I like to play along with people. I like to pay it forward. And I also enjoy the change of pace. And so BookBuds tagged me in one. They did a great job. Their quality of their videos is just phenomenal. You should check them out. Faceless at Faceless Book Reviews, he did a book tag and he tagged me in it. Nigel at Reading Ideas did a really interesting tag. I'm going to try my best to oblige him and do that. Pat at Book Chat with Pat, you gotta love Pat. She tagged me in a book tag video. I obviously got to make sure I deliver for Pat. She is like a second mom. And then Trav at Trav's Bookshelf, he tagged me in a book tag as well. So that is 5 tags, and I got to make sure I tag Novel Insights in him, or otherwise he's going to cry a lot and he's not going to be my friend anymore. So anyways, that is my weekly wrap up for last week. I hope you're having a great ending to your weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead and you get a lot of reading done. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Have a great evening. Thanks.